Welcome to today's video. Today we are going to take a look at how to take a citation from a database source and put it into Noodletools and make corrections and ensure that the citation that we end up with is done correctly. So here I have a database resource pulled up. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Cite button. This pops up with a pop-up that provides the citation that the database has for me. I'm going to go ahead and click on Select, and I'm going to copy it. Before I go to Noodletools, though, I need to figure out what type of source it is that I am citing before I can go to Noodletools. And so I know that I have a database source. And then if I take a look at the citation itself, it tells me that this is from an anthology. So I'm going to need that when I go to put this citation into Noodletools. So the first thing that you will need to do if you haven't already done so is to set up a new project folder in Noodletools. And then after you have done that, you will be on the same screen that I am on right now. And we will click on the new source button in the top right corner. Then from here, I need to click on what type of source it is that I'm citing. So this is why it was important to figure out that I was citing an anthology. So I'm going to click on database first, since I found it in a database. And then right here in this kind of gray section of resources, you'll see anthology collection. So I'm going to click on that. This is going to bring up a screen that asks me to confirm that, is this really the type of source that you're using? I'm going to go ahead and click on continue. And then now I have a fill in the blank screen. I could go through this process of filling in the information, or I can go up top here where it says copy and paste a citation. I'm going to open up that button, and here it opens up a pop-up box where it says manually edited citation. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paste the citation that the database gives me here first. I'm not done yet. I can't just click on save quite yet. There are some things that I need to check in order to ensure that this citation has correctly been done, because citations in databases are oftentimes created by computer programs and they're not always correct. So this is why you need to go through the process of double checking everything. So in Noodletools, they give us 3 things to check right away. It says, do not assume the citation is correct. And then it says, compare to the examples in the MLA handbook and pull out the MLA guide above, which we're going to do in a moment. The next thing it says is to reapply text formatting like italics. So I want to take a look down here and see if my italics have pasted over, and it looks like they have. So my anthology title and my database title are both in italics, which is great. And then also it's reminding me to check capitalizations of the title. So this is the most frequent mistake I see in database citations that have been provided for you, is oftentimes the capitalizations are not done correctly. So you need to check your capitalizations in your titles here. So I've checked those things. The next thing I want to go back to here is where at the very first thing it mentioned, it says to compare to examples in the MLA handbook and pull out the MLA guide above. What they mean by that is they mean this little button up here where it says MLA guide and it has a plus sign. So when I click on that, that's going to open up a pop-up box that gives me the formatting guide for, in my case, an anthology from a database citation. And so this is where it's important that you have selected the source type correctly, because if you selected the source type correctly when you open up Noodletools, this pop-up box will give you the citation format that you need. And so what you can do is you can go through and you can compare this citation format to what you have down here. So I'm going to go through and do that now. So I have my author, my title of my piece, which has correct capitalizations, which is great. I don't have any other contributors. I also don't have an original publication date in here to put. I have my title of my anthology in italics. I have my editor. I don't have an edition or a volume number, but I have my publisher, the publication year of the anthology, the page number, database name, and URL. The access date isn't required, but it's a good idea to include it in case you need to go back and reference the date that you got your citation from. So after you've gone through and you have checked everything to make sure that it has been done correctly, you can go ahead and close that little MLA guide pop-up. And then if you are writing an annotation to go along with your citation, you can go ahead and write that and type that in your annotation box down here. So if you're doing an annotated bibliography, this is a good place for you to type up your annotation, because then when you go to export it later, it will be included in the export. And so once you are done, you can go ahead and click on save. And you'll see now I have my citation, and I've double checked that it's done correctly according to the MLA guide. Now I have the option to click on new under note cards, where I can add note cards if I need to. And then when you are completely finished with your citations and your annotations, if you're including annotations, you can go up to the print icon up here. And then this is also the export button as well. So click on the export and print button, and you'll see one of the options is to print and export to Google Docs. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. It's going to ask me if I want to export all of the sources or just some of them. I want to export all of them. I'm going to click on submit. And now I have my citation exported into Google Docs. Thank you for joining me today for this short tutorial. If you have any questions, please ask one of your librarians or one of your teachers.